Today's standard is experiencing the responsibilities of citizenship at the local level. So what they did was they used the publicstuff.com website, which is also available via an app, and they looked through and they just explored the website to see what you could do with it, what kinds of information the government wanted to communicate with them, and then more importantly, how they could then communicate with the government and share things that were important to them. So you want your city to keep it clean. Of course, there are always going to be people who are trying to make it dirty. But it's up to you as citizens to report it when you see it so that the city can respond. All right? And that's what we're about to do. Go ahead. They were then allowed to find some kind of problem in their community or around the school and report that to the city of Tallahassee through the publicstuff.com website. To go above and beyond our target goal for today would be to follow the progress of your suggestion on the Digitali app or through the publicstuff.com website. And they will get feedback from the city as to their problem. And that is going to empower the students to either do it more often or participate again or share their concerns with their local government. So it's called Digitali. Yeah, and you can make requests, you can look at nearby requests, you can look up if there's any question you have about how you can participate in government or anything about how your government can help you. Finding the Digitali app was a I just stumbled upon it 2 or 3 months after it came out and fell in love with it. Instantly, I was like, this has to be a teaching tool. And so I think it was the next day, I was so excited I had to share it with the students. I broke up an entire unit and we just had to dive in.
Like one whole street car, like a whole bunch of cars have been broken into, would that be an issue? On one street?
You would definitely want to report that to the police, and you can do that through that app. They spend so many hours a day using technology as it is. I'm just trying to meet them halfway. Any opportunity I have to help them learn through mediums that get them excited, or if I can just sneak it up on them like that project really did. So how can you, at ages 12 to 13, participate on a regular basis? What do you think you can do? All right. It's important to me that my students understand that they can affect their government. Sometimes their ideas need to be addressed at the state level. Sometimes they need to be addressed at the local level, and that's all about learning about federalism. 2 projects that have been addressed at the state level were cyberbullying, which was successful. However, that was the year of reapportionment, and we ran out, and that was a great lesson. Running out of time in the legislature, it happens all the time, and great legislation doesn't make it to the floor. And they were disappointed, but they understood so much more about how government works and about fast tracking and how important that is, and prioritizing legislation. Right. So we've got a lot of things here that you can do to improve your city, all right? Not all of them are participating in government.
Go to the park, pick up the trash.
You could go to meet. Nah, I'm too young to go to a meeting.
You could go to a garden, maybe.
The Florida standards have supported my students. I've seen the growth in 1 year. I've seen it through pre- and post-testing. Through our district progress monitoring alone, the students are able to understand the questions, answer them more efficiently, with greater depth. They're able to work through problems that typically they could only work through a one-stage, level 1 Webb's depth of knowledge question in the past, where now they're at much greater ease. Even the lower level reading students are able to get to those second-tier questions without getting frustrated. That's information that they can carry through with them, being lifelong learners. We don't have city officials just sort of driving around, all right? Making sure that the water's turned off at certain parks, making sure that there's no hazards in the streets. It really takes your involvement and your citizenship to make sure that happens. We need to challenge the students, and we're going to have some growing pains with this challenge. We need to ride it out. We need to let the students rise to the occasion, and this is not going to happen within 1 year. It's going to happen over the course of implementation. My students have been successful. There have been students throughout the country that have been successful in terms of being active agents for their community, and we need their perspective.